Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we finally have some confirmation from Sony. This is exactly what everybody's been asking for. This is what it all comes down to. It looks like next week was going to be the do or die date for both Microsoft and Sony, regardless of what was happening with the leaks and things like that. The little cat and mouse game would have ended next week, and it looks like now we're going to get to see exactly what Sony has up their sleeves, and we're going to see how it is in comparison to what Microsoft had to offer, what Microsoft had to show, because, by the way, Microsoft's entire next week event leaked out early, and the entire 4-part thing was actually available to watch on the internet as well. So Sony doesn't have much to beat, to be honest with you, because that event was a bit of a snooze fest. But at the same time, I'm excited by what Sony has to show, and we're going to get into a lot of the details that Sony's confirmed as of now. Let's get started. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys wouldn't mind, just support a small channel like mine with a simple like. You can also feel free to hit the bell so you're notified of all the content as soon as it drops, which is, pretty much important as well. To any YouTuber, they'll tell you that that's a hugely important factor in all this stuff. So much appreciated to everybody that does that. So again, if you missed it, we know that Microsoft has some things planned. The Xbox Series S stuff leaked out. Also, if you guys didn't know, today, and you can find this on the internet, they had a 4-part series that was going to release next week, and where they basically break down the Xbox Series S and things like that. The interesting thing here is, I believe the way that it went down with the leaks, that's a much better thing, and that got a much better reaction than what would have happened if people would have actually watched these little individual shows. Because I got to be honest, you watch the shows, literally zero new games, zero new gameplay. Like, how does that even happen in today's world? I have absolutely no idea. Here we are. This is their final pitch to buy their consoles, and they don't show any new games. So it ended up looking like another Game Pass advertisement, which, I mean, that's fine. If you like Game Pass, more power to you. To me, Game Pass seems like more and more it's old games and stuff like that. Not really my cup of tea. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what I think. I mean, you guys can do what you want. I'm going to do what I want. And it's really just going to come down to the content and things like that, because I feel like that's the most important thing. That's the things that people seem to kind of forget, man. Like, when we're sitting there talking about consoles and we're talking about content is the be-all, end-all for me. That's why I think so many developers, and that's why I think like places like Forbes, who recently did an article about Xbox Series S and how that's not going to be a big deal because they should have been focusing on content, not a lesser SKU. And I 100% agree with that. I do think that it's important to kind of offer that. So, if you didn't know, Sony 100% confirms a PlayStation 5 showcase officially announced for next week, September 16th. And it looks like we're going to be getting a price and release date revealed then as well. So if you guys didn't know, the Series S, Series X are both available to pre-order on the 22nd. I would assume that Sony might even want to just put pre-orders live that day, or they might go, hey, 22nd as well. We'll have to see how that works out. So it takes place September 16th. The event is going to kick off at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which will be 4 p.m. Eastern time, so if you guys want to know that. So this is what Sony had to say. Before PlayStation 5 launches this holiday, we wanted to give you one more look at some of the great games coming at PS5 at launch and beyond. Our next digital showcase will weigh in at around 40 minutes and feature updates on the latest titles from worldwide studios and our world-class development partners. Now, aside from mentioning new titles coming to the console, Sony hasn't really provided much in the way of details and the contents about the showcase. Microsoft, obviously, having announced the release date and pricing of its next-gen consoles last week, it's unlikely that Sony will finally announce the price, or it is highly likely, that they are going to finally announce the price, release dates, and pre-order dates. Obviously, that's going to be something that's going to happen. And if you guys didn't know, we can actually thank Microsoft. If you're a PlayStation fan, you can probably thank Microsoft. Now, we don't know for sure what the pricing would have been for the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 All Digital. But what we can say is, things might have changed due to Microsoft having their stuff leaked. Like, you didn't want to have a situation where the PlayStation 5 is $599 and the digital $499. I don't think that would have worked out too well. There was not really much to the rumors to that anyway. But if you are a PlayStation fan, I would suspect that $399 for the all digital would be a price that they're going to try to drive home, and $499 for the standard PlayStation 5. And they could have maybe lowered those a little bit. Not saying that they didn't have a contingency plan to work with in the first place, because obviously, you know, they're a billion-dollar company who's been in this for a long time. So they obviously, them and Microsoft likely had contingency plans. It just so happens that Microsoft came out first, giving Sony ample time to do whatever they want to do. But it looks like this was Sony's original date to launch stuff anyway. So Sony's announced that they're going to be launching two models, a model with a Blu-ray drive and a digital only. Both models are going to be custom fit with an ultra-fast 825 gigabyte solid-state drive. You know, if you didn't know, it's like this is one of the things that they're really kind of pushing as far as the next generation stuff, and their own pitch for the integrated I/O and ray tracing and 4K gaming. 120 frames per second HDR technology, even up to 8K output, which is all phenomenal stuff. I'm going to link this in the description so you guys can check it out. The more important thing, I think, with all of this stuff is the fact that Sony are doing things on their own terms. I know people thought and wanted Sony to come out and react right away to what Microsoft was doing. That's not exactly how the world works. You know, I just got to be honest. Like, Sony are the market leaders. They pretty much do things the way that they want to do them on their own timeline, and you don't go haphazardly just kind of frantically announcing things. That's what Microsoft's been having to do. Microsoft are the ones that have been kind of going out there and announcing things left and right because they had to or because they leaked or whatever. That's something that realistically is the sign of last place, you know, a last place situation. Microsoft are the ones that have the most to show to people, and Sony absolutely just can rely on having that brand name that people recognize as being a quality thing, and it is quality. We can't be kind of mistaking or pussyfoot around with that. PlayStation is well known as a quality console, a quality piece of hardware. They come out with the best software, and Microsoft really dropped the ball this generation. So people are gonna, and rightly so, gonna want to know what Xbox has to offer. And the fact that they keep saying, we've changed, we've listened, we've changed, we listened, we're going to take your opinions and thoughts into account when we do these things. Like after the last event in July that Microsoft did, they're like, well, we're going to pay attention to the feedback, and you know, we'll address that later. So then when you watch this, the breakdown that they just did, they didn't really address anything. People want to see games and gameplay, and we didn't get any of that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, we want new games. Did they really blow through everything they had in July? And it wasn't much. Like, if you think about it, it's all stuff that basically everybody knew. Obsidian's new RPG, Fable, Forza Motorsport. We knew that State of Decay 3 would be coming at some point, and that was only in there as a pre-production thing, like a little CGI blurb. You know, we knew Hellblade 2. It's like, literally, we got pretty much nothing that we didn't expect. And what's worse is that they don't even seem to be going after anything third party to get exclusive, to get us content or anything like that. It seems like they're just content with getting stuff in Game Pass, whether it be old or not. Like the EA Play stuff, okay, that's a decent thing, but it's not really a big deal for the average person, because I got to be honest, EA this generation is like 1A, 1B with Microsoft in terms of their content. Okay, like EA last generation would have been great to get that kind of stuff, because, you know, they had good Battlefield games. They had, 3 Dead Space games. They had some great stuff, and a couple of really great Dragon Age games. One with even an add-on and things like that was really good. And they had 3 Mass Effect games. Great games. Like, they really did great stuff last generation. And this generation, almost everything they've done has been a little bit underwhelming. Yes, they have that really good Star Wars game, thanks to that, and the Titan. Actually, thankful for for Respawn Entertainment, because without the 2 Titanfall games and that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, they have next to nothing that's good. Honestly, I mean, Battlefield has really kind of sunk down pretty low. The Need for Speed games have been pretty garbage, and, you know, Plants vs. Zombies, the first one was okay, and then they kind of ran out of steam with those games. And obviously, like, the Battlefront games are hit or miss. Like, the first one didn't have a campaign, but was pretty good. The second one was loaded down with microtransactions. Madden just seems like it gets worse and worse. So again, that's not really a big deal. It seems like it's like, hey, buy our new consoles for old games. That's not really a pitch that really strikes me as something that's, you know, worthwhile, in my opinion. Like, listen, again, if you all feel enticed by what they're bringing, that's all that matters, honestly. It doesn't matter what I say or what I think or what I'm spending my money on. If you are spending your money on something, go ahead and do that, okay? Please, by all means, go do that. You know, have bless you. I hope that you guys have fun and enjoy it. I'm not trying to knock it. I'm just saying, as someone who is a gamer, I want to see the games, and I don't understand why we haven't been able to see that, why we haven't been able to sort of see exactly anything in terms of gameplay on the Xbox Series X, and here we are, 2 months away from launch. It just kind of baffles my mind, and for them not to have anything to go from the first party in the AAA space for the launch of a new console or this entire year is absolutely disastrous in my opinion. So please let me know what your thoughts and opinions on this are. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm truly humbled by the support you guys have given me. Have a fantastic day. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.